Radiant team ban.
And we have ourselves
Team
the
ban.
next round. And Energy Esports, after being able to put down White Rabbit Gaming, are now going up
We're
against...
in game 2.
Yeah, it looks like we're going up against Raggas and BP Paz, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. So, in the first game, Energy were able to somewhat pull apart White Rabbit there. So, we'll see if Raggas will be able to put back any other, some sort of resistance against the onslaught.
Radiant team pick.
Testing.
Dire team pick.
I heard I might have a bit of sound issues.
Admiral Conquer.
Dire team pick.
Okay, is that working any better?
Radiant team pick.
The undying waits.
Okay, well, it looks like we might have some technical difficulties with audio here.
10
But,
seconds remaining.
Oh, is it working? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I just had to reconnect to the game. Sorry
5
about that, everyone.
seconds
Oh,
remaining.
okay, no worries.
Radiant team
Okay,
ban.
well, we're back now, and you can see that Raggas were probably keeping some sort of an eye, or they just banned the coincidence of banning both Larkin and Shadow Fiend's probably too much of a coincidence, right?
No, they probably looked through
Dire
the
team
profiles
ban.
for the last game and saw what energy we were planning.
I mean, to be fair, the way they played last game, I'm sure
Radiant
Energy
team
have more than one straight up lineup, but always a good idea to try and get rid of something that you know is really strong on opposition.
Especially
Getting
if you know
into
they're
the draft,
comfortable
sir.
with it.
Let's try and catch up a bit on the drafts. On the side of Energy, we have Kunkka and Jakiro, so the start of very, very good big team fights. And on the other side, we have Ogre, Undying, and Juggernaut, which is just
Dire
a good
team
amount
pick.
of beef and fighting.
Very brawly team coming out from Raggas.
There's some very, very quick drafting coming on here.
Both teams know exactly what they're going for.
That's always good to see, I suppose. I mean, the sniper and morphling, so you're going to have your big team fight followed up with some very, very good point damage. And on the other side, adding on to the brawly fighty with the Troll Warlord.
10
I'm not
seconds
quite
remaining.
seeing the synergy and the plan behind the draft for Raggas and BP Paz. It just looks like
5
they're
seconds
going with
remaining.
heroes that are just good by themselves, that are just solid picks.
I see what you mean. So, like, you're saying there's not very much cohesion so far. Like, no one to step off of others.
They are all
Radiant
beefy
team
heroes,
ban.
like they're hard to take down as a team.
Yeah, but it's again, like you say, they don't really have any big team fight yet either. They have the totem from Undying, but that's pretty much it. The rest of it is more or less point and click.
Well, to cover the gaps that they've left open, they
10
need an
seconds
off-laner,
remaining.
I would say. Troll Warlord mid, Juggernaut carry would
5
be my
seconds
guess. So, off-laners that can fit in, Void.
Sorry, I'm just accepting 1 or 2 friend requests from people.
No worries. Faceless Void, Enigma would be quite good here. But there's multiple other heroes. For example, if you don't want to go just the pure
Radiant team
damage
pick.
route, you can go Tide Hunter, though that leaves you on a long cooldown. Same thing with...
Dire team
I'm
pick.
completely blanking on his name right now. Ah, yes, Magnus.
Ah, yes. Well, there's another good continuation. Monkey King fits into both of the sort of slots that they have set up with the rest of the heroes, where you have your point and click damage, your single target damage, as well as a good sort of all-around team fight. And Monkey's a very, very nice sort of
10
link in
seconds
between the two.
remaining.
I am seeing on the side
5
of Energy
seconds
Esports, there's
remaining.
not a lot of beef, which was the thing we saw with White Rabbit Gaming last game, but everyone on Energy Esports can output a lot of damage, so that might make up for it.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, other than the Conquer, they can't really frontline, but that is a bit of an issue when you consider that you're going up against an Undying. As Undying, you know, as the team fight goes on more and more, he tends to, you know, steal your health.
Yeah. Hero that I'm thinking for Raggas and BP Pies, Underlord.
Yep. Underlord. That would be a good combination. I mean, it continues along with the line of the beef, takes a little bit of the edge off of the attack damage from the opposite carries. As well as, you know, the just really good team fight control. So I agree. I would say that Underlord's probably one of the better picks that they could do right now. So you would say that would then push your Undying into the fourth position, and your Ogre Mage
Fourth position, fifth Ogre.
Okay.
Well,
so
actually,
Juggernaut carry, Troll mid.
Juggernaut carry, Troll mid is what I'm guessing. But Undying and Ogre can be fairly flexible. But some teams prefer him fourth, some teams prefer him fifth. That's Ogre.
Yeah.
Of course, there's always the cheese you can get with multicasting Midases. But I'm not too sure.
Well,
if that's something you
the
should
Midas
try in
is
a
not
best of one.
Well, you know what? It does also depend. I mean, when you are, let's put it this way, Energy Esports is one of the best teams in the country, right? So you've got to go at them with something maybe a little bit crazy to try and push the envelope. So maybe cheesy is what they want.
Choose your hero.
Bristleback? Yeah, okay. I can see that. Again, adding to a bunch of frontline.
So it looks like Caveman Dota is the order of the game here for BP Pies. They're like, we don't need team fight if we can just beat you down.
Yeah. Mash face into wall fall over, easy win.
Only thing I'm worried about for BP Pies is I'm not seeing a lot of lockdown.
Yeah, that is correct. I mean, you have one stun and one root. You have a couple. No, you only have the 2 slows as well. 3 slows, excuse me, with the Troll Warlord axes. So they're definitely going to have to struggle a little bit with being able to hold everyone down. And they also don't really have anything to get to the sniper if he decides to just sit in the back, which they often do.
The flip side to that, of course, is the fact that everyone on their team, or a lot of people
Sorry,
on
say
their
again?
team
You
actually-
broke up for a second there?
I said the flip side.
Okay, spectators are on.
With my thanks.
Alright, Graham, have you returned with me?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, the admins did
Okay.
say play on, so.
Okay, great. Well, we have ourselves Monkey King mid with a Sniper and Conquer off lane. And in the safe lane, we have a Morphling and a Jakiro. So, relatively normal lanes. I don't think you could have seen very much of a difference. And on the side of BP, they are doing a big 5-man angry rotation towards Rush Pit. Are we seeing a level 1 rush? We are seeing a level 1 rush. Oh my lord. I have never seen a level 1 rush. Definitely not in a spectator game, and I can't even think of the last time I even saw one. Do you think there's anything Energy can see to see this coming. I mean, they'll start noticing surely soon enough that nobody's around, but
30 seconds to death.
They might suspect a smoke gang. I see here snipers pulling back. He should check road pits if they suspect it. He can do it with shrapnel.
yeah, he has shrapnel. This could go very, very wrong for them. But I've got to say, this is one of this is going very, very well for the side of BP.
Energy has no idea. Look at the position of Morphling. They're expecting a smoke gang.
Absolutely no idea. This is the kind of shit you need to do if you want to beat some of the top teams in Dota. Well fucking done, everybody. That is one of the best things I've seen. I am so happy to have spectated this. That was the most ballsy thing I've seen in a long time in Dota.
To do it against the top team in the country as well.
To do it against one of the top teams in the country. Wow. You know what? Respect if nothing else. That was fantastic.
And because Energy suspected the smoke gang, there's still a bounty for Dire.
There's still a bounty
yet,
there.
But
and they didn't block lanes because they didn't want to risk Morphling walking into the whole team. That was fantastic. I am really proud to have been able to watch a team do that. Plus one rep.
best thing is both teams think the other team got that bounty, so no one's going to check it. Oh, that hurts.
Someone's just gonna wander past it sometime.
Well, I hope so. Otherwise, it's just going to sit there and go to waste.
Give your OCD a proper run. Okay, let's try and calm down a little bit. Let's not get run away with this, shall we? Lanes, who do you think has the advantage?
I would say the safe lane for BP is a lot more secure. Morphling is very difficult to keep safe, especially against a bristleback undying combo. Meanwhile, there's not really anything Kunkka and Sniper can do to take down a Juggernaut.
Meanwhile, bottom lane, Bristle getting quite low, but he manages to walk it up. So, last hits at the moment, I mean, Sniper's always going to just be a pain to deal with, especially, you know, running as a Juggernaut. But, with the exception of Juggernaut, the last hit's looking fairly even. I mean, Bristle's falling behind slightly, but other than that.
Speaking of, this is a support sniper.
It is, isn't it? I just noticed that as well, because I was looking at the last hits and I went, wait, Kunkka has the last hits. I mean, it's not the first time I've seen it, but very unusual.
Well,
mid lane, Flexer being able to flex on Adderstam. I'm sorry, I won't do that again.
Times are hard for you.
I suppose if you're going up against a Monkey King, Troll is a good guy to bring because of the range. This might be a kill mid.
Bit of a dive, but then also a bit of a return, a bit of a slam. Each of these guys are busy trying to create, you know, like a bit of a lever on the other. Flex has to be very careful here, though. One or two more hits, and he's definitely going to be going down. He has the Aegis. I mean, that's a thing.
But you don't really want to waste that.
I mean, let's be honest. The whole point of killing Rosh at early levels is for the XP and gold. The Aegis is kind of moot. You know, like it gives you some leeway, but I don't think it really means anything.
Speaking of XP, still massively in the lead is BP, especially Troll.
Yeah, I know. I mean, the mid lane is about a half a level lead on Troll Warlord so far, which is not the end of the world, but when you're going up against, you know, some of the better players in the country, anything is good. In bottom lane, the Morphling has some good farm. In fact, all three lanes for Energy have some really good farm, and only really the Troll being able to keep up at this point. Juggernaut's only on 6 last hits. That's gotta feel bad though.
He is getting pressured out of this lane.
Well, I mean, looking around the map as things settle, we haven't had anything else really crazy just yet, so at least there's that.
So many people are low on health though. This could change it.
I know. The thing is, sort of on both teams, they don't really have that early game burst, you know? I mean, the only one who really does is the Monkey King, and even then he requires having hit up the opposition a few times to get the Jingu stacks.
I think Adestam is actually keeping Flexa on low HP. He's not killing him.
So that is a
Just keep it
fantastic
there.
idea though. Just let the Aegis time out, and when you start seeing him regenning quickly, you just hit him with the Bounder Strike
First blood.
and cancel the healing. Meanwhile, bottom lane, a missed out on it. Now first blood goes towards Morphling. So that was just, I guess, the constant pressuring, you know. They have been working, all three lanes have been working the guys down for a while now, and it was just the first to capitulate to that.
That bounty rune.
Troll
was
Warlord
picked
just
up
got the
there.
bounty rune. Oh, good times, good times. And there goes the
And
Aegis.
there's the Aegis.
Which is actually probably the best timing for him. Sorry, Meanwhile, in bottom lane, Bristleback looks like he's going to just die straight again. Yeah, the stacking of all of the damage from the Jakiro. He just doesn't really have the health to deal with that kind of burst at the moment.
Yeah, meanwhile top, Juggernaut doing an ogre's job and going for the bounty rune. Unfortunately, Sniper beats him to it.
Oh, no. This safe lane is definitely not going well for the side of BP. They aren't collapsing, which is good, but I do feel like they're not going to be able to have much of an impact in the late game at this rate.
Yeah, unfortunately, when it's a 4k gold lead from just laning, that's a bit of a...
Yeah, 4k gold lead at the 6-minute mark.
Still, they could definitely come back. They have the team for it. They don't
Yeah,
need a lot of items to do a lot of damage.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
they do have that good old-fashioned rolling brawl going for them, which is definitely what you would want as a suggestion against the opposition team. But again, this is excusing the fact that the team fight on energy is just so huge, combined with some very, very good single point damage. Mid lane, Flexer looking like he wants to go on notice damp, but thinks probably better of it at last second. He has his ult, so he can commit that if possible, but all it takes is Adestam to get a 1 Jingle Strikes, and there's going to be a problem there. And we have the ult committed. 2 ults, one going either way. Adestam, he might be able to take down the troll here. No, but he goes down for his troubles. A good rotation from the Undying there, just to help out his team. And and it looks like that that Battle of the Wits has finally gone one way. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Morphling still busy pressuring the heck out of Bristle, and there goes the kill on Juggernaut top. It's been a while coming, and I think Oko might not be very far off of this. We have ourselves a pause up here. I think there's some sort of connection problem for the Morphling. It was a lag, I swear. What do you think the side of BP need to do to slow this down?
I'm not too sure. They should rotate and pick who they're going to trust to carry them, and rotate and keep them safe.
Yeah. So at this point, would you say that's a Troll Warlord then?
Point. Definitely the Troll Warlord.
Yeah. Okay. So, but I mean, you can see that reaction was there. As soon as the monkey went on him, we had some very, very quick reactions. Undying came in, dropped the tombstone, not even going to let the time tick by. He just arrived and dropped it. So you can see that they might have acknowledged that themselves already. There is a bit of a problem here for the side of BP, because the Morphling has a Morbid Mask already and 2 Wraith Bands, and he has his boots on the way as well. So he has been doing fairly well the farm. Meanwhile, top lane, it looks like they are going to be trying to go on the sniper here, by the looks of it. Kunkka at the moment dealing just probably a little bit too much damage for them to deal with here. The Juggernaut is rotating back around. He's going to try and go for the sniper here. And we have another kill in bottom lane in the meantime, but they are going to be able to take down the Juggernaut in the meantime. Undying, still chasing down the sniper, but he will get torrented up. They desperately want to try and get the sniper, but I think they might have to sacrifice more than they wanted to in this. And they might not even get him after all of that. The tombstone has been committed, and he's going to try and jerk his way out through the trees here. But they're going to find him, and yeah, X-Mark, he's going to be torrented, and he's just going to get dropped. It's a matter of who gets it, and it goes to the contract.
Kunkka is
So-
just a ridiculous stat stick. With Bracer and Phase Boots, he's dealing over 100 damage a hit.
Yeah, and that's before the torrent, the Tidebringer, which adds another 100. So, I don't know. BP look like they're trying to make something happen, but it's at the
Dire's top tower is under
the
attack.
downside of that they're just forcing things that shouldn't be forced at this point.
Interesting side effect, which I noticed that the Kunkka's been using almost religiously, that you guys can use in your games. If you Tidebringer and you have Quelling Blade, the damage from Quelling Blade gets added to the Tidebringer, and that's how he's doing so much damage to the Juggernaut and the Ogre in lane.
So you smack it onto the creeps, basically.
And it gets multiplied by 165%.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah, I mean, at this point, everybody knows how to play their character to the T, so that's definitely not to be unexpected there. We have some neutral items starting to drop on both sides.
Rotations are good from BP.
Oh, it looks like, they're going to be able to turn on the Monkey King, and he will be going down. Ult was committed. Troll might drop here. Oh no, he decides he wants more. So he's going straight in on the Jakiro. And now we have 3 heroes on top of them. The healing ward should be able to keep them more healthy. And they don't manage to bring down. The Willing Axe is managing to stop the healing ward from dying. So that's good times. Meanwhile, in the other lanes, Ogre Magi manages to go down again, top lane.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
BP definitely putting up a fight. They don't want to turn over and let this one just roll them over. And that's always good to see. The guys are trying to get shit done.
Unfortunately, the farm allocation for BP could be a bit better. They have Troll in first place, which is to be expected, and then Undying, which is their fourth.
Which, yeah, I know. But and that's just from passively the Tombstone. The Tombstone zombies, I would assume. So from the fights so far, the Tombstone zombies are getting him all of that farm. They might be rotating a little bit of it onto now. I mean, they have to accept that the Juggernaut is at the point where he is only catching up. I don't think he's ever going to quite be where he should be. So I wonder if at this point if they shouldn't accept that the Undying is going to be the more profitable late game call. Meanwhile, top lane, Kunkka, he's busy going in on the Juggernaut. But Ogre Magi is there to help him out. The neutral creep's going to be slapping him away there. But I don't think they're going to be able to kill him. He just TPs away, walks out, no problem. Sniper is going to be chased down by the Undying, but he's also just going to be able to walk away. They do, however, manage to get a kill in mid. Bristleback was running away, and he just got the Boundless Strike down. It was only on about 100 health at that point. I think he'd been worked down a little while by the Jakiro. It's always a good feeling when you can just go and get a kill, one ability, and casually walk back and carry on farming. One thing I would like to add though is that this sniper pick on 4th position is a very good translation into what can be a 4th core. As you can see, he's building Ags first, so that reduces the cast time and makes it a 1.5 second stun, if I'm not mistaken. So you've got some really good, huge range initiation to go with everything else. Morphling, TPing out the bottom, just manages to get away from the whole team.
On itemization
Jakiro's going to go down there trying to slow down.
We have a mechanism coming up for the Undying. That seems to be the biggest. That's good. Yeah, that's the biggest pickup.
That should be able to help. Yeah, that'll definitely be able to help the bleeding when you consider that a lot of the time the side of energy are just sort of running in, getting a quick kill and getting out. So that'll be able to delay that and force him to fight just a little bit longer and perhaps on their turns instead.
So looking at
Dire structures are fortified.
energy.
There are a lot of rotations mid here, but I think energy know that and they're just gonna be a little bit more cautious here. That being said, here comes Monkey King, and they're probably going to be committing. Yep, Monkey King ult has gone down, but so has Troll Warlord. So it's going to be stun on the Kunkka, so they're delaying the fight just a little bit. There's the stun on the Troll Warlord, but he does go down in the Monkey ult. The spin from Juggernaut, he's going to try and take out the Monkey King. Monkey King does eventually go down. Now the Omni Stash, he's finally gotten the level spot, but it's not going to be able to do very much damage at all here. The run has been working, and they managed to take down Juggernaut too. Ogre Magi running for his life, but he will get X'd and he will get finished. Or will he?
Dire's
No.
top tower
Sniper
under
says
attack.
that smart. Thank you very much. I'll take it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Good rotations by BP, but Energy just able to catch all of them in the big ults before they could actually do anything there.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is
unfortunate.
under attack.
Item coming up, however, for Energy. It looks like Kunkka's going straight Aghanim, or he was. He's going for Halberd. So as soon as Troll ults, he's going to be Halberded by
Dire's
Kunkka.
top tower is under attack.
Yeah, that is just a straight up counter, isn't it? I mean, it's so good against Troll Warlord, and at the moment, Troll seems to be their main source of worries for the team, so far at least. Mask of Madness has been completed by Troll, so he has some of that sustain and some of that extra damage.
Speaking of
Energy,
interesting
farming an
itemization,
enemy jungle, good times.
if you look at Monkey King, he is going at Deso first.
Deso first. Well, I mean, they don't need any AoE damage, and at the moment he's using his ults for your sort of main team fight damage. And so it's basically just, I suppose, to spread the love so that you get Desolator on everybody.
Also, once the team fights are over, if Monkey King manages to survive, then you get massive damage.
Easy buildings. Top lane, it looks like we're going to have a very quick kill on the Bristleback. The combination of Shakira and Morphling just far too much for them. They beat through without having to worry about any armor. The magic damage is there. Meanwhile, mid lane, Monkey King, invis, he's walking directly next to his Juggernaut. This should be an easy enough kill. Juggernaut won't be able to get away from this. There is still a Bounded Strike to come. And there it goes. Fairly easy kill. Invis runes, they destroy last. Happens. Meanwhile, bottom lane, however,
Hated when it happens.
they did manage to get a return kill on the sniper. But here comes the Kunkka, excuse me. Well, he manages to mess up the boat, but I think Monkey King's here and they should be able to get the final kill. They are now just BMing at this point. And there he goes. Nothing like a little BM.
Okay, so this Monkey King is definitely going for a split pusher build. He's going Desolator straight into Ags, which means he could just chop down the towers with those extra Monkey King soldiers.
Yes, the what are they called?
Monkey soldiers.
Oh, that works.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, you can see that BP, as I say, they're not rolling over and dying because they are still going out for kills. They found the sniper in the jungle, but Morphling is here. The rest of Energy aren't anywhere nearby, so if they can bring enough numbers here, they might be able to get 1, maybe 2 kills. But Energy are starting to rotate. They have the Monkey King and the Jakura coming. They managed to get the stun out on Undying. Here comes the rest of Energy. They suddenly use the Monkey King ult, and they are going to be able to wear them all down. And there goes the good old-fashioned Desolator. They're going to whack down on everybody here. And it is a disaster, ladies and gentlemen. And that's 4. So, they did manage to take down the sniper, but the rotations from Energy are just so damn good right now that it feels like no matter what they do, they just can't seem to get a good trade.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah. Plus sides for BP here. Troll didn't die in that fight. Downsides, they're now at a 17k
Dire's
disadvantage.
bottom tower is under attack.
Another downside to add to that, even if Troll did survive that fight, there is now Heaven's Halberd and Conquest, so he's not going to have any better time. Morphling, first item after the Morbid, that is, he got Boots of Travel. So you can see that they definitely do enjoy bringing everybody to a fight whenever they can get the chance.
So at the moment, most valuable hero on the map is actually Morphling. He just overtook Kunkka. So
yeah, he has been farming up a storm. Looks like we might be trying to go on the Kunkka here. At the moment there has been a lot committed. I don't know if Juggernaut's over-committing here a little bit, but apparently not, because the Jakira started TPing away, but he cancels it, probably thinking actually he can survive this. And now they are starting to descend upon the Kunkka. But here comes the boat, and the boat is going to catch 2. And they are going to be able to kill off both the Juggernaut and probably the Bristleback before any real damage is done. The Rum obviously being able to keep him very healthy. Here comes the stun holding. They need to go mage jump, but they are able to hold. There's the shotgun, and that is just brutal. Morphling coming out of there with a shotgun very, very early in the game.
Morphling now online, he just got the GG blade as well.
Yeah, and here comes Troll Ward. He has committed his ult, so he has nothing else left. He's going to try and use the walling nexus to make himself a little bit safe, but there's the shotgun again, and they are going to be able to tap down the bristle as well. Morphling at the moment really just, he's getting out of control. But with the rest of this team to back him up, I don't feel like there's very much BP can do to stop this anymore. They require BKB's stat, and nobody has that kind of money right now.
Has fallen.
If you look at the health totals after each fight, it is true that Energy doesn't really have much
Dire's
beef
middle tower
to
is
sustain
under
fights,
attack.
but they do so much damage that the fights never go long enough for that to matter.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. You know, if they would have the time to farm up a BKB or two, then maybe they'll be able to delay those fights for a bit longer. But at this point, it just feels like they just cannot slow down this wave.
Sitting at a 24k net worth disadvantage.
So more than 1,000
being
gold a
choked
minute.
out. Much more than 1,000 gold a minute, and being choked out by being forced to stay in base, otherwise this happens to you. But
And Bristleback's just going to be going down again. He's a good example for that, right? Like, you feel like Bristleback should be the kind of guy who would be able to survive in any situation, but he just isn't. He's it is a very, very tough time at the moment for BP. Again, credit to them, they are not laying over and dying. They keep going up to try and get something done. Troll Warlord, still farming in the jungle. His items aren't all that bad for all things considered. Manages to catch himself an inaugural, so a little bit of extra damage always helps. Meanwhile, mid lane, they are going to go on the sniper, but he spins to win out of there. Ags now completed on sniper, so the Ags on sniper, very, very good. 3,000 range, done. Very, very nice. Troll Warlord, 1v1 me, bro. I'm not gonna type. I was gonna type do it, but I'm not going to. This is a serious event. I'm a professional, damn it, even though I do really, really want it to happen. Oh, it looks like we might be able to get it. Okay, here we go. Clash of the battles, but no. He ran away like a little girl. To be fair, Sniper was there, so it wasn't really fair. Blame it on the Sniper.
Silence himself
Dire's top
with
tower
Mask
is
of
under
Madness.
attack.
Whoop.
Dire's
Well-
structures are fortified.
Top lane, returning to the seriousness of the game. Oh, wow. And we have ourselves a spin up, but it looks like they are going to be able to work him down just a little bit, but the spin bit able to get him out of there from the stone. Stun from the sniper, managing to steal. Oh, and there goes the Morphling. This game is fairly over at this point. This is a case of how much. And they are just going to start diving them into the base at this point. Bristleback. He's been a bit of a punching bag this game, and he takes some more punches
Wasn't
before the
able
game
to get
ends.
up.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's
Game is
top
not easy,
tower
boys.
has fallen.
Game is not easy.
Dire's top
Yep.
barracks are under attack.
The rest of this is more or less triviality at this point, but yeah. It does look like energy are just
top barracks are
really
under
too
attack.
strong for these guys. Again, I would like to say though, before the game ends too quickly, the amount of respect points that the side of BP have gotten out of me is ridiculous. Just to be able to go off a level 1 rush like that, it's so good. We're going to have a couple more deaths in the back line here.
Dominating.
Morphling cleaning up, Monkey cleaning up, Kunko cleaning up, with just too much damage.
Dire's top
And we're going to have Team Wap number 4. GG is full.
Mega kill. Double kill.
BP had some great ideas.
Dire's
That draft
middle
could
tower
have
is
worked.
under
They
attack.
just needed to work on the execution just a bit more.
Yeah. No, again, I would like to add that
Radiant victory.
there's some serious rep points because those guys put up a good fight. And level 1 rush, which is something you never see nowadays. It was popular at one point, but
Ballsy
not
play.
anymore. Oh yeah. But again, you have to pull that out. In a best of 1, you gotta go for broke. Well, been a pleasure casting round 2, and we'll see everybody in round 3. Please hang around. If you want to hand on my friend code to anybody else, they're more than happy. The more the merrier. And yeah, we'll be seeing everybody in game 3 when Energy Esports will be facing down the next person in the quarterfinals, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll be here all night.
Guys, in the next one.
Catch you later.